Harry and Meghan keep facing rejection after rejection. It looks like everyone has grown tired of their drama, not just royal fans.
The world's biggest victims right now are the Duke and Duchess of Netflix.
And now the streaming giants are questioning the couple's work ethic and productivity. Did Meghan really fake her Archetypes podcast? Is their multi-million deal with Netflix at risk? And what might be next for the Sussexes? Harry and Meghan recently lost their deal with Spotify. Markle's podcast Archetypes was cancelled after only 1 season and 12 episodes. This is a huge loss for the Sussexes, as the contract was worth $25 million. They'd planned to release multiple series on the streaming service, and it was also one of their major commercial agreements after Megxit happened. For the Duchess, it seemed to be quite a successful endeavour. In her podcast, she discussed stereotypes around high-profile women, such as Mariah Carey and Serena Williams. Last December, Archetypes won a People's Choice Award in Los Angeles, and Meghan was reportedly developing new episodes. But the podcast didn't get to live on. Supposedly, it failed to produce enough content to justify the $19 million payout.
Actually, the podcast ended up sounding like a very, very kind of bland, run-of-the-mill interview podcast.
What's more, nasty details started to come out about Archetypes. According to a report, Meghan actually faked some of the episodes. Ostensibly, when her guests went to their interviews, the Duchess wasn't even there.
Someone else conducted the interviews and they sort of cut her questions in over the top.
Various people who've been involved in the podcast confirmed it. And perhaps due to Meghan's ambiguous reputation, some celebrities refused to join the podcast, like Taylor Swift, for example. The Duchess wrote her a personal letter, but the singer decided pass on the offer. And not only did Spotify cancel Archetypes, they also didn't want to develop other projects by the Sussexes. Harry allegedly pitched his own podcast idea to Spotify. The prince wanted to interview such figures as Donald Trump and Mark Zuckerberg about their childhood traumas. And he also wanted to speak to Pope Francis about religion. But the execs were unimpressed by the idea and rendered it impossible to land those guests. Failing to come up with anything new, the Sussexes didn't meet the productivity standard required by Spotify, so they didn't even receive the full value of their contract. However, Harry and Meghan's media company Archwell Audio later made a joint statement with Spotify. It revealed that they'd mutually agreed to part ways, but not everyone believed it. As of now, the Sussexes still have a 5-year deal with Netflix, which they signed in 2020. It's supposed to bring them $100 million for producing documentaries, feature films, scripted shows and children's programs. So this contract has been another important source of income for the couple. After all, they no longer receive money from Harry's family since they quit their royal duties and moved to the US. But still, they never stopped cashing in on the royal fame, and it helped them amass quite a fortune. These days, their net worth is estimated between $10 and $60 million. And Netflix brought them a large part of that due to the success of their show. Harry and Meghan became the second most watched documentary on the streaming service. Apart from that, the prince appeared in various TV shows and gave many interviews. And in all of those, he discussed exclusive details about his life as a royal. Many people have said it's all been nothing but unquestioned self-promotion. His actions angered the royal family, as well as those who admire the British monarchy. Even during King Charles's coronation, practically no one spoke to Harry. Reportedly, they feared that anything they said would later appear in a new show or a tell-all memoir. So this all leaves the couple in a sticky spot. It looks like they're interesting to the media only as former royals, but since the Sussexes have ruined their relationship with the whole family, soon they won't have anything new to share. Allegedly, it has created a problem for their Netflix contract. The streaming service reportedly demanded that the couple make better content that will attract the public, or they might lose at least half of their contract money. And it looks like Harry and Meghan have no ideas that are fascinating enough. A Netflix insider commented on the situation, saying that the lemon has been fully squeezed. Apparently, the Sussexes don't plan on doing more royal family-related projects. Sure, they still have Harry's series Heart of Invictus. Due to air in August, it'll talk about the Olympic-style games the prince started for wounded ex-service competitors. But other than that, Harry and Meghan don't seem to be having much luck finding new content. They pitched a few ideas to Netflix, but the executives quickly dropped them. It's quite possible that it's only a matter of time before Netflix does the same as Spotify. If the couple's projects keep being cut short, it might have a serious impact on their net worth in the long run. And it seems like Harry and Meghan are trying to find other ways to stay afloat. This May, they made another attempt to gain publicity. The Sussexes claimed that they were chased by the paparazzi in New York. Allegedly, their lives were in danger, and they risked repeating the fate of Princess Diana. Yet it's still unclear what actually happened, because other reports contradict their story. According to witnesses, there was no crazy chase, but just a regular New York traffic situation. And after it was over, no one was arrested or even got a ticket. Needless to say, this situation called the couple's credibility into the spotlight, and definitely didn't help their popularity ratings. In fact, Meghan's approval among the British public has fallen to its lowest level. As many as 7 out of 10 Britons say they don't like her, and only 1 out of 5 has a positive outlook on the Duchess. Meanwhile, Harry's popularity has risen slightly, yet most Britons still dislike the prince. And the reason for that is probably Harry and Meghan's tendency to complain about their lives. It looks like people are getting tired of hearing about it. Even celebrities have started calling the Sussexes out. For example, Kelly Osbourne slammed the prince during her appearance on a podcast.
I think he's a he's a whining, whinging, complaining, woe is me, I'm the only one that's ever had mental problems.
And the ball kept on rolling as royal commentator Kinsey Schofield called the Sussexes a one-trick pony. She added that Harry and Meghan seemed to overpromise and underdeliver when signing their deals, and because of that, celebrities and companies are distancing themselves from the couple. Moreover, Meghan seems to be falling in the eyes of Americans as well. For instance, the chief executive of United Talent Agency, Jeremy Zimmer, commented that she has not a great audio talent or necessarily any kind of talent. And he added that being famous doesn't equal being good at something. Do all those slams mean that Harry and Meghan are on the brink of failure? Well, not necessarily. Not everything is that bad for them these days. A Netflix representative recently said that the streaming giant doesn't have any plans to end their contract with the Sussexes. Plus, since their docuseries reached a record number of views, they might win a prestigious award. Harry and Meghan have been tipped for an Emmy nomination. And there's a good chance that it'll be approved because it will increase press attention to the awards ceremony. Other than that, the Sussexes seem to be planning a new project, and it will reportedly be completely different from anything they've done before. It's going to be a historical drama that'll serve as a prequel to Charles Dickens' Great Expectations. Earlier this year, a source told The Telegraph that Harry and Meghan are working on something new. They have a few ideas for TV shows, including feel-good programmes. Perhaps the couple's future plans might involve rebranding. A rumour recently appeared that Meghan was going to sign a deal with Dior. It seemed to be a logical choice, as the Duchess has worn the brand quite often. At her wedding to Harry, she used a variety of Dior beauty products. Besides that, she wore the label at a Royal Air Force event in 2018 and during her tour of Morocco the next year. Later, Meghan also sported a Dior outfit at the Queen's Platinum Jubilee and a hat from this brand at Elizabeth's funeral. Unfortunately, the deal doesn't seem to be happening as the fashion brand denied the claim. At the same time, it made the public think about Harry and Meghan's future plans. Some people believe the Sussexes may follow in the footsteps of David and Victoria Beckham by monetising their name as a brand. In this case, it's essential for them to close deals with fashion and fragrance houses. And this might work because Harry and Meghan are a glamorous couple. They tick many boxes for becoming brand ambassadors, and it could turn into a new strategy to maintain an independent lifestyle. Share in the comments below if you think that it will work for the Sussexes. And if you want to know more about the royal family, check out our other videos.